Okay, hello everyone, welcome back. I am going live again because the last time that I was going live, um, I had my thing had automatically went to mute. So, welcome back. My name is Katan. I'm the founder of BossBayBlog.com, and today we're going to be discussing free business interviews on our live YouTube platform of 12,000 monthly members. I'm sorry, monthly views and 200 plus subscribers. So if you are an entrepreneur out there and you're trying to have your brand advertised on different platforms, I know that this can be something that can sometimes be costly due to the fact that we simply have to invest in ourselves. However, there are some free opportunities out there that can match your funding status or simply just help you step outside of your comfort zone. So the thing about this is that a lot of times people will assume that you start the business, you post the website, and then the sales just come flowing in. But in many cases, you have to go out there and actively, aggressively promote that business, place yourself on different platforms, and build momentum. And momentum starts off by doing things that are a little bit uncomfortable, but will help push your brand forward or help expose your brand to an audience that may be interested in your solutions. So, our audience is full of small business shoppers, small business owners, potential future small business owners, and people who just love to learn about their community. And on this live show, you're going to come and talk about one specific topic of your choice, and then you're just going to come introduce yourself and share the solutions that you're providing for the community. You're going to let us know what state you're based out of, what state you service to. So if this sounds like an opportunity you would like to take advantage of, the link is attached in the actual contents of this video. And you can also go to bossbayblog.com and click on the events page to learn all about our upcoming events. So now that I've shared that, I am going to take a brief moment to pause and shout out one of our sponsors that decided to sponsor our show. And this sponsor also happens to be listed in our directory, and they are JC Fashion Finds Boutique. So this is the actual show that we will be interviewing you on, the Boss Bay Business Show, and the brand that I have on the screen actually sponsored the show. So I try to every now and then in between my lives shout out the sponsors, but I also shout them out on the show too. So you might actually see them twice. Okay. I'm going to give everybody a moment to just jump on in, and then I'm going to jump on in. Okay. I'll be talking about the show in about 1 minute, or less than 1 minute, actually. We won't wait that long. Just need to share to a couple of platforms. And now let's get into the conversation again. So if you're watching the replay or you're joining us a little bit later, I did already share the opportunity, but I'm going to share it once more for everyone that's joining. So we do have free business interviews that we're conducting on April 2nd from 6:50 p.m. to 8:50 p.m. It will not be a 2-hour interview. You're able to come and be interviewed at slots. So you can go and apply with the link that is attached here. It is $0 to join this opportunity, $0 to apply, $0 to be interviewed. Our platform has over 200 plus subscribers. Actually, we're sitting at 216 subscribers on YouTube, and we are now averaging out over 12,000 monthly views. So we were sitting at 12,000. We are now sitting at 13,000 views for the month of March, with still 1 week to spare. Our goal is to end March with 15,000 views. So we're consistently growing our YouTube platform, and you will be placed in front of other people who are either entrepreneurs, future entrepreneurs, or they love shopping with small businesses and learning about community. That's what our audience consists of. And so that is another reason why when you join this opportunity, you will be welcome to come and share one topic that you are passionate about, that you want to speak to the community about. And then after you share the topic that you're passionate about, you get into your solutions, you get into your products. And whether you are a service-based business or a product-based business, we have actually had both on our show, and we've seen sales from both. So you can gain sales, you could possibly gain leads, you could possibly gain traction, supporters. And again, it's just going to depend, because it just depends on what the audience wants to do after they watch your interview and how moved they are. But one thing is for certain, it does increase the chance that a person will purchase with you when they see your products or they see you delivering or talking about a service on camera. So in my first year, well, not first year, but in my first months of making $10,000 in sales, I actually did it through lives. I went live on social media. So going live, I actually challenged myself to go live every single day. Now, am I able to go live every single day with the schedule that I have now and the projects and how much our business runs? The might be able to, but I don't necessarily do it as much unless it's on my Patreon account. But in the beginning, I started out, that was how I made my first $10,000 in sales, going live on social media. So I'm not saying you have to get on there and do a TikTok dance, because I know a lot of people make you feel like that, but you can get on social media and promote your business and talk about your mission and talk about how you help people, because that is going to be what teaches people and gives them that brand awareness. Business is very much a closed mouths don't get fed industry, where you have to talk about what it is that you provide. You have to let people know who you are. Hey, hey, hey. I actually just shouted you out on the sponsors for travelwithmj.net. Thanks for joining. Happy Monday. But yeah, so, if you're that person and you want to put yourself out there, you want to be exposed to other people, you can gain leads. We've seen people gain leads, sales, collaborations, relationships, subscribers, reviews, long-term business pals. I mean, there's just so much to achieve from putting yourself out there. So whether you do it on my platform or you do it on a different one, at the end of the day, you have to do it. You have to push yourself out there. If you're going to be that face of your brand, or if you don't have someone to be that face of your brand. If you have a faceless brand, you can have someone interview for your brand. So for example, let's say, thank you. So if they say, let's say maybe you sell notebooks. This is actually a notebook from a small business listed in my directory, but shout out to hootstop.com. But if you sell notebooks and you don't want people to see your face, you just want them to see the brand and that's it, then have someone come as a representative of your brand. So say, hey, I'm a representative of hootstop.com, and today I'm actually selling notebooks and letting everybody know about this brand and how they provide X, Y, and Z. So you don't have to be on camera, but you do have to put yourself out there in some fashion or form if you want to see that growth in your business. So if you're struggling with sales, I highly recommend you go to our YouTube channel so you can read or watch back on where I talked about our free sales webinar. If you're struggling with presentation, I highly recommend you go to our YouTube channel and check out where I talked about our website design setup class. And if you're struggling with exposure and you want to put yourself out there, I highly recommend you click on the link attached to this video and take advantage of a free opportunity. Now, some of the things that people often give me pushback on when I share these opportunities is the nervousness, putting themselves out there. And to the nervousness, I say you have to decide which one is more important, being nervous or being unknown. And once you decide on which one is more important, you're going to choose for yourself how important it is that your brand is put on that platform or not put on that platform. But you got to step outside of your comfort zone in many cases. That's one of the things. Another thing is preparedness, just, feeling uncomfortable or not prepared. There's never going to be a perfect time to start promoting. There's never going to be a perfect time to start something. You just have to get in and do it. What's most important is that you go and read the information before you apply. You show up at the time that is scheduled and you are reading your emails and you're receptive to your messages. That's it. If you can read the emails and follow the email instruction, then you are good to go. Not MJ with the, if you're invisible, you're broke. Listen, and you know what? I'm going to say yes, even for someone who is not the face of their brand, you may not be visible, but your brand is visible. There's some level of visibility that's happening somewhere that's making people say, I want to make that purchase. So even if you're not the one putting yourself out there, somebody has to be doing it and putting your brand out there. And you can't be afraid to do it. You can't be afraid of messing up. You can't be afraid of saying stuff in it, and it's not perfect. And you also can't be afraid of what other people think. We live in a world where people focus too much on worrying about what somebody else who doesn't even have the same courage to go hard for themselves is going to think of them if they look silly, or if they do something that's not perfect, or if they're not as established as the next brand. When in reality, you stepping out and doing it already places you in a whole different realm. You are in a whole different realm. You're in the realm of doers. You're in the realm of proactive people, proactivity, positivity, growth. You're in the realm of stepping out and being courageous. So you're already in a different space. So you can't worry about people who are not even in the same space as you, what they're thinking, because you don't want to be in that space of not doing and not putting yourself out there. So just a little encouragement. And yes, I know that has been the statement for the Queen's Digital Studio. MJ is actually someone that has interviewed on our show, and that's a common statement that she's made on every not every, but almost every single interview, because it is true. I mean, if you're not visible, you're not making sales, people aren't learning about you. So whether it's through an interview or a social media post or a pop-up shop or a newsletter or an email, whatever your platform is going to be, you got to choose it and you got to go hard at it multiple times, not just one time. And you can't expect instant gratification because business doesn't work that way. And that's part of the reason why a lot of people aren't successful and don't make it past the first 2 to 5 years, because they're looking for instant gratification. And this is a building process. But what I can provide for you is a digital footprint. When you come to interview at Boss Babe, at the Boss Babe Business Show on our YouTube channel, if you kind of be a part of our directory, whatever platform you are on with us, you're building your digital footprint. And what a digital footprint looks like is go type in your business on the search engine and go see how much of the search engine page you take up. How many pages do you flip through of your brand and information about your brand? How many pages deep can you go on Google and see your brand? And I'm using Google because it's one of the world's top search engines. So how far do you go? When you go on your social media, on your Facebook, on your YouTube, on your Instagram, type in your business name and see how far your business goes. How many posts do you see pop up on Instagram? Check your digital footprint, because if you're building your digital footprint, you're going to start to build consistency, and the algorithm is going to favor your content and push you towards the top, which makes it easier for people to find you. And I'll give you a perfect example. At one of my events, I had 3 people come up to me, and when I told them that they needed to follow me in order to be a part of a contest, they were already following me because of my digital footprint. I didn't even know them. They were following me already. They saw my brand collaborating with other brands that they knew of, and they had already followed my brand before I arrived at the event. Then I had another event where I had an individual come up to me and tell me that they found me on, shout out to Annette, they found me on Google or one of the search engines. They searched up women's empowerment events, and then Boss Babe Blog Soft Girl Sunday popped up, and it led them directly to the location that we were hosting the event at. So that is building a digital footprint. And you can only do that if you're posting about your business, putting yourself out there, stepping out of your comfort zone, letting people know what you provide consistently, strongly, passionately, and accurately, So be authentic, put yourself out there, step on a different platform. If you're ready to do that, join this opportunity. The link is attached to this video. Free business interviews. And these interviews, again, it's on April 2nd. You need to arrive at 6:50 p.m. because we start at 7:50 p.m. Central Time. You will receive an email notification once you have signed up for the event, as well as a confirmation that you've been approved. And it's just that simple. So if you're ready for this, go take advantage. I will be back with another either income generating opportunity or another event that I'm going to share. But today we'll be sharing 12 of them, and we are on number 3 technically. So we'll be back with number 4. I'll see you guys in 1 minute. Bye-bye.